And we are live, and we got a couple preloaded questions in the queue waiting. So you'll love to see that. So Samuel says full PPR pick two, Scary Terry, Claypool, Pittman, or Deontay Johnson. So out of those options, the ones I'm sitting, well, first of all, McLaurin doesn't leave my lineup, so that's the one I'm putting in regardless. Then it comes down to, in my opinion, the two Steelers.
I'll go with Deontay Johnson. He has been the guy who's gotten the more significant target volume, so I'll stick with him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's where I was leaning as well. In terms of my rankings, I think I have Deontay at 17 and Claypool at 19. So I actually like both, but I'll stick with Deontay Johnson there. Yeah,
right. We got a little breaking news drop here.
Oh, drop it.
We got, so Ravens tight end Mark Andrews is not expected to play on Tuesday versus the Cowboys.
Damn, just seen that. Apparently Lamar is expected to play, and he tested
well, which makes sense because I believe Andrews got it Saturday last week, so like that would have put him up against the timeline to play. But Lamar got it like Thursday or something, so it was like within that 10-day period.
I'm in a dilemma in my home league, right? So it's a must win. Like if I win, I'm in the playoffs. If I lose, I'm not in the playoffs.
This is going to be a boring week for me, low key. I like all the leagues except for my two dynasty leagues that I'm like Scott's Tots in the Shaded League. Those are the only two that I'm close to like I have to win this week. The other ones, if I lose, I'm like, it's fine. My seating's the same. Like everything's the same. So sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, in my home league, I'm 6-6 right now, right? And there's like 3 or 4 teams that are 6-6 vying for like the last 2 playoff spots. And if the guy I'm playing this week, I already beat this season, and he's also 6-6. So if I win, I'm basically in because I'd have tiebreaker. And basically right now, I'm like in a dilemma because if Lamar doesn't play, like I know he's expected, but if he doesn't play, he's in my COVID reserve list right now. So if I wanted to activate to my roster, I'd have to drop someone. What I'm thinking, though, is I had Mitch Trubisky, who I already picked up this week. He's actually like my quarterback 16 or 17 on the week against Detroit. I'm like, okay, I may as well just play him and leave Lamar on my COVID list because there's no moves I have to make. So, like, it's kind of...
I'd rather play Lamar.
The problem is I can't afford to wait because if I do and it's Tuesday and, like, Trace McSorley plays or something like that...
So then you play Tracy McSorley.
Maybe.
I honestly think Lamar is a big enough upgrade to Trubisky there that you like. I don't know why everyone's just assuming Mitch Trubisky is like suddenly this reliable quarterback.
He's definitely not reliable, but outside like the top 13 or so quarterbacks this week, it's a crap.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But like I have to play. I'm playing Mitch Trubisky in one league over Matt Stafford. Like that to me is like when you play Mitch Trubisky. I don't think you'd be playing Mitch Trubisky over like Lamar Jackson or even like Matt Ryan. I wouldn't play Mitch Trubisky over.
Yeah, like I have Lamar and Ryan ranked higher, but because of the situation, like I just don't want to be stuck in a situation where I have to start like McSorley or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll actually show you after, but my running back situation in that league, it's like other than Kamara, there's like a bunch of running backs in like the RB 15 to 24 range, and I have like 4 of them, and I don't know
that sucks. Yeah, like, my one buddy just asked me a question. He was like, "Yo, who do I start? I have to start 2 of these guys," and they were all in that range. He's like, "Do I start Jonathan Taylor, CEH, Kenyon Drake, or Wayne Gallman?" I'm like, "Those are all in like the same range of like running backs."
I'll actually tell you what mine is, right? So I have the Kamara. He's already locked and loaded, ready in the lineup, right? I have Jonathan Taylor, David Johnson, Kareem Hunt, Frank Gore, and Benny Snell.
That seems pretty obvious to me.
Really, yeah?
When you start 2 of those?
I'm starting 3.
Okay, so
or 4 total. 4 total.
To me, it's easily Taylor and Hunt as the first 2.
Really?
Yes.
The Hunt's the one that scares me. I had Taylor locked and loaded, ready to go.
What do you got? You said David Johnson, Frank Gore. Who was the last one?
Benny Snell.
Ravens again or Steelers against the Washington football team. James Conner's probably not going to play.
He's not expected to play now.
I would play Benny Snell probably of those guys.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay, so we got My Sports Update just tweeted out an official list. I'll just go through it real quick. So Julio Jones is active this week, so he's going to be playing, so you can fire him up, and Matt Ryan as well. Todd Gurley is active, so you can drop Brian Hill. Don't even roster him.
Don't waste
Deandre Swift is out, which makes I guess so to me we had the same dilemma on Thanksgiving. Who do you go with, Adrian Peterson or Kerryon Johnson if you're playing someone? Pardon?
Kerryon for me, because
I think I go with Kerryon as well, but we know that Adrian Peterson is the goal line back, but then again they are facing Chicago, not Houston this time. So I don't expect them to have get a lot done on the ground. And I also expect them to kind of be trailing in this one because I think Trubisky is going to probably do well against their defense.
Yeah.
But then again, man, they just fired their coach. We've seen teams come out after they fire their coach and just like put on great performances. There's a chance that they do that against the Bears defense. But I would start Kerryon Johnson if I'm in any kind of PPR league, especially over Adrian Peterson. If you have Deandre Swift and you can't play him and you need to go pick up someone, I would go pick up Kerryon Johnson and play him as a top 35 running back, probably.
I think I have Kerryon right now as like my 32 on the week. So
I gotta adjust him now because I added as if Swift was playing.
Also, let's quickly get into Sam's question. He says full PPR, Goddard or Hooper. I would still go with Goddard personally because we've seen Wentz's actual dependency on the tight end position. I mean, we've seen the receivers on the Eagles be volatile on a week-to-week basis, but the one thing that you can rely on in this offense is the tight ends getting peppered with targets. I know Zach Ertz is expected back to play, but even with Zach Ertz active, I think Goddard's still that 6 to 8 type target lock. And if you can lock that into your tight end position, I mean, that's just as valuable as really any type of positional drop-off in fantasy. And locking down a.
Speaking of the Eagles, what do you think about the running back situation this week? How do you think it's going to play out?
Well, first of all, like I still think that Sanders is obviously like the main guy.
Yeah, for sure.
The problem that I have with the Eagles running attack as a whole is that even though Carson Wentz is just playing like absolute dog fart, they for whatever reason are not giving Sanders touches. And it's annoying.
He's also it's kind of on him too. He's like dropping passes and stuff. Like he doesn't look the same as he did last year at the end of the year.
He's been so efficient. That's the thing. It's just like this guy's averaging what, like 6.5, 7 yards per touch, basically when you factor in the receiving game. Like I can't fathom a guy playing this well and just not getting that consistent 15 to 20 touch baseline. Like if he was getting the work of, I don't know, like James Robinson, like this guy would be a top 4 or 5 overall fantasy football running back. But because of the volatile week-to-week basis in terms of the output of touches that the Eagles give him, like
this is a lesson that we need to learn, is that this has always been a trend with Doug Peterson. And just because Sanders had a great back half of the season didn't mean we should have expected it to continue the next year. And be aware, because there's going to be a couple running backs for these last couple of weeks that pop off and raise their ADP for next year. Be aware of what J.K. Dobbins does these next couple of weeks. Be aware of what who's the other rookie that I'm thinking of?
When Deandre
Antonio Gibson does these next couple of weeks. Just be aware of that because these guys, maybe not so much Antonio Gibson, but a guy like J.K. Dobbins has fresh legs right now. And what he does over the back half of the season could really, really impact his draft stock for next year. And John Harbaugh has always been a guy who's used to committee. So that is going to be something to be aware of J.K. Dobbins next year. I really hope we just see no injuries and we see J.K. Dobbins just take over the backfield with Gus Edwards and Mark Ingram there, because that way you're just like, okay, like they're going to use him next year. Because if it was like everyone was injured and J.K. Dobbins was the workhorse, then you'd have some concerns.
Is this a real question at this point? Like, is Gibson the RB1 for the rookies
this year?
Going into next year?
Oh, like in terms of like trade value and stuff?
Because like, obviously, in terms of dynasty ranks, he's probably a fringe top 10 to 12 type option at this point, right?
I would still take Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Antonio Gibson because of the offense that he's in. I know Gibson is going to see a better like uptick in his offense. His situation is going to improve likely with a new quarterback and potentially some like O-line upgrades and stuff like that. But I would still rather take Clyde Edwards-Helaire's situation because we got to remember about Kansas City too, is that LDT opted out of the season. So that's a starting offensive lineman that opted out. I believe Mitchell Schwartz has been injured like all year. And I think they've had some up and down other kind of interior play. So I think his situation could improve as well. And it's just weird. I don't know how to explain Kansas City's running situation because they just like completely abandoned what their philosophy was earlier in the season. Because earlier in the season, they were running the ball much more than we were expecting them to. And then they just kind of had this huge shift where they just don't run the ball at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, the main one that gives me pause with giving Gibson one is going to be Deandre Swift for me. I mean, with Patricia gone, like they're going to have a high pick.
Oh, I can tell you right now, if Dobbins is a 60, 70, 80% snap share guy the rest of the season, he will be my one.
Okay. Yeah,
I still think the offense he's in is a good one. I don't think it's a great offense anymore, but I still think it's a good offense.
And then not to mention, I mean, you got Jonathan Taylor like sneaking in there as well. Like if Jonathan Taylor finishes the season with like 25 plus touches in every game,
he's another one of those guys that
like
he has fresh legs right now. Like kind of like not really, but he kind of does because he hasn't gotten a whole lot of work this year, and he's a big bruising type of back too. He could be going on business decision defenses that are worn down from tackling players the whole season. Like he could break some big runs out of because corners don't want to tackle anyone at this point in the season. So
don't they got Houston in 2 of the next 3 weeks?
Yeah. And that's a team that has an interim coach, and their best receiver just got taken away from them, and their best corner just got taken away from them. And it's pretty much, it literally is Deshaun Watson and JJ Watt against the world on that team.
And Brandon Cooks.
And Brandon Cooks is like their only and Larry Tunsil are like their only above average players still on the roster.
Isn't it funny that like Brandon Cooks is looked upon as like a reliable piece on a team right now when he's always been the one guy that just always gets hurt?
Yeah,
like,
it is actually
always dealing with something.
That was like at one point in the season when Jordan Reed was like the only healthy guy for the Niners. Like
that was fucked. And then the week after he gets hurt.
Yeah. Okay, let me just run through a couple. Before we get to these questions, I just want to run through a couple more actives and stuff because they tweeted out a big list. So Allen Robinson is going to play, big deal for him. Okay. Tua is playing, so you can't start Fitzpatrick. I got to adjust my rankings accordingly. Matt Stafford also playing. Jake Luton out. I don't think he was going to play anyway. And then these are just defensive players, but Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks are both playing, so that's a big downgrade for the Bears offense, obviously, or the Lions offense. And then Saffold, that stuff doesn't matter. Anyway. Those are the big things. I think Fitzpatrick not starting is a pretty big deal if you have Devontae Parker, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get into this. So he says, hey, fellas, happy Sunday. You too, Evan. He says, love the content as always. Appreciate that. Have a chance to wrap up the number 1 seed with a 9-3 record this week. Go clinch that, man. Have a couple questions. I have Gibson and Henry starting, and he finishes it off with benching CH and Montgomery. Starting Ridley, DK, and Jefferson. Would you bench anyone for Chark, Lamb, or Debo? Also going with Tanya because Andrews is out. Kirk or Kyler. I have the Rams D. Thanks. Okay, so to start off your question, so his 2 running backs are Gibson and Henry, and he's benching CH.
I don't think I would sit any of those. I know Gibson is playing the Steelers, and it's probably too cute to start Montgomery over them.
Yeah.
Though, which is what I wouldn't start CEH there. I would bench CEH, but Montgomery versus Gibson is kind of close just because Gibson is playing the Steelers, but I think I would still roll with Gibson.
Yeah. And it's crazy to say that, like, we're talking about benching Montgomery against the Lions, but, like, I would still go with the security of Gibson and Henry, obviously, because he might be the RB1 overall.
Because Montgomery is, when we say someone like Montgomery has a safe touch baseline, it doesn't mean he's safe for production. He's safe in terms of that we know Montgomery is going to get, like, 15 carries and, like, a couple targets, but that could result in 40 total yards for Montgomery because he's not really that good.
Not to mention, you're not starting Montgomery over any of those receivers, and you're not starting any of those receivers over the receivers you currently have in. So,
no. I would like to be able to get Chark in my lineup, but you can't start him over Ridley, DK, or Jefferson this week.
Oh, I'll ask that as well after because I got those 4 running backs, and I also have Chark in my debate for my flex. So
going with Tanya because Andrews is out, Kirk or Kyler.
I'm still going with Kyler.
I think I'm still going with Kyler. You have the Rams D. Like if you. Did you say it's a must win? Have a chance to wrap up the number 1 seed. Okay. If you got the balls to do it, I don't hate going Kirk Cousins over Kyler Murray, but I don't think I would be able to do it.
No, me neither. Full PPR, pick 1: Taylor, Hunt, Gaskin, and Booker. To me, Gaskin. If Gaskin's playing and he's slated to come in this game, we've seen that when Miami has their starting running back or whoever they have available.
You play Gaskin over Jonathan Taylor?
Yes.
And Booker? I wouldn't. I'd play both of those guys over Gaskin.
Really, eh?
Okay, so the reason I say this is because we've seen multi-week injury running backs come back recently. We saw Mostert come back last week, and we saw Carson come back the week before. And generally speaking, their workload is diminished. Now, it is a little bit more favorable for Gaskin because everyone else in his backfield is hurt because Ahmed is going to be out for this game and Breida is going to be out for this game. But I still think they're going to just limit him in some capacity. I don't think they're going to give him all his normal workload this week. So I'll go with Jonathan Taylor in a great matchup and Devontae Booker subbing in for, I guess it's only a pick 1. So I would go with Jonathan Taylor.
I'll take Gaskin for Booker straight up right now.
You want to do that bet?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll do that.
Let me write that down.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that I actually have them back to back in my rankings. I have Booker at 21 and Gaskin at 22.
I think I have Gaskin at like 17 and Booker at like 23. So it's pretty close. I'm actually going to raise Taylor, to be honest, because when I thought about it, I'm like, everybody's freaking Yeah. I'm moving Taylor to 15, and I have DJ at 16. Here, let's get into a couple more questions. My bad. CH or Pittman? Give me CH there, Alpha. And half PPR. I'm assuming you're agreeing there.
Yeah, I'll take CEH. It is worth monitoring though that CEH is dealing with like a stomach illness. So make sure you like put him in your flex spot for starters because he's playing on Sunday night. And also try and have like a pivot. Like for example, in my home league, I have CEH going. I don't really need to win this week because I'm going to be the 3 seed no matter what, unless the 2 seed like loses and I outscore him by like 40 points, which probably isn't going to happen because he's playing like the worst team in the league. I have CEH going Sunday night, but what I have is I have Ayuk on Monday. So I can pivot to Ayuk if I need to, if CEH doesn't go. But like, just make sure there's a lot of games Monday and Tuesday, so you should be able to find some pivots for CEH if you need to get some insurance.
For sure. I agree there. Pick one standard league: White, Edmonds, or Peterson. Oh, this one's. I think I'm going Peterson here, man. With what's it called? With Swift out. Like, because James,
yeah, because like in a standard league, White and Edmonds don't have nearly as much value as they would in a PPR league, and Peterson, like in a standard league, touchdowns is everything, and Peterson 100% presents the best opportunity for a touchdown there.
For sure, I agree there. Taysom or Lamar? Like, I think they're back to back in my rankings, but because Lamar may not play on Tuesday, it's probably safer to just put Taysom in.
I think it's probably safer to put Taysom Hill, but that's about the board. Like that's the line I draw probably.
Yeah.
Like in that range of quarterbacks is the line I draw. Anyone worse than Taysom Hill, I'm not willing to pivot off of Lamar for.
I currently have Taysom at 10 and Lamar at 11. So like that, you're right with that being the line.
I gotta check where I have them.
So we got the boy Shake Your Booty back in here. I have James Robinson, Derrick Henry, Eckler, Carson, and need to start 3. So are those options? Imagine
sitting one of those guys.
I know it's between Carson and Robinson for me, to be honest. Let me just check Matt.
So Seattle play.
I would bench Carson, even though I'd like the matchup. I have Carson at 7.
And the Giants, the Giants are probably the worst matchup.
If you want to
know a worse matchup in terms of Minnesota versus, but the game script could get out of hand for James Robinson.
That's fair. But I'm just thinking, if you want to know how close these guys are in my rankings right now, I have Henry at 2, Eckler at 3, Robinson at 5, and then Carson at 7.
I have the first 3 the exact same, except I have Carson at 10.
I got you.
So I actually, I would agree, and I would sit Carson.
For sure. That's
would definitely need to know what your flex decisions are, though, because I would like to find a way to get Carson into my lineup.
I mean, you're chilling there with that depth. Standard Pittman or
Debo.
Samuel?
Yeah, I'll take Debo.
Agreed. I would easily start David Johnson over Edmonds there. I mean, if David Johnson's coming back, which he's expected to, it was already stated that he was expected to play this game like at the beginning of the week. Got activated off IR yesterday. Looks like he's ready to go. And if he's stepping back into the situation that he was at between the 14 to 20 touch baseline he was getting against the Colts, this team's going to be down early. Maybe we see some pass catching work, especially with Fuller out. We could see Duke Johnson flexed out a little bit more, with David Johnson getting the majority of the work out of the backfield. And if that's the case, I mean, Deshaun Watson is going to find a way to put up points regardless in this game. If the Colts get up early, Deshaun Watson's going to find a way to close the gap. How's he going to do so? He's got Brandon Cooks. He doesn't have Will Fuller anymore.
This could be a situation where we start to see the running backs get more involved in the passing game too. With Will Fuller out, Deshaun Watson, I mean, he's kind of like Lamar Jackson in the fact that he's not going to throw to his running backs that much. He is like he reads the field high to low like most quarterbacks should and do. Like you see, think of the better quarterbacks in the league. A very common thing with them is like they don't check down that often. Like Mahomes doesn't really check down that often. Watson doesn't really check down that often. Obviously, the older guys that are less mobile, like Rodgers and Brady and Breeze, check down a lot. But
even Rodgers,
these young, really good quarterbacks don't really check down that often. Like Josh Allen even doesn't really check.
Even
Russell Wilson,
even Rodgers doesn't necessarily track or check it down, because when Aaron Rodgers gets Aaron Jones, gets a lot of his receiving work, it's coming like as a receiver.
Yeah, as a receiver, because Aaron Jones is like. So what do you think is going to happen with them? I'm of the belief that there's a 100% chance he gets franchise tagged. I think that's exactly what's going to happen this offseason. Do you think they sign him, or there's a chance he walks?
I mean, he's proven that he's such a valuable upgrade over anybody else in the backfield. I mean, I know Jamal Williams has been playing decent in spurts.
He's
AJ
going to
Dillon,
walk, I think, though. I think he's
yeah,
gone.
yeah, like
He's a
AJ
free
Dillon.
agent as well. They were drafted in the
Okay.
same draft class.
Oh yeah, and Jamal Williams was picked first, oddly enough.
Yeah.
I swear Aaron Jones at that point had like a criminal charge or something like which caused him to drop, because all these like talented players for
that was just one that was a really good class of running backs, so that's probably part of it. But another part of it was he played for UTEP too, so he wasn't at like a great college. Like same goes for Kareem Hunt in the same draft class, but played for Toledo. It's hard to judge some of those running backs sometimes. How good they actually are because they're playing like lower competition. If you're a running back, usually in on a MAC team or something like that, you're the offense. Like Kareem Hunt was the offense at Toledo that year.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the next question. My bad. Leroy says Corey Davis, Clark need a flex in a receiver. I'm assuming that's Chark. If that's the case.
Corey Davis, Chark, Kirk, Gus Bus, Snell, Gurley, Rager need flex and one receiver. So Corey Davis is actually the guy I have ranked the highest out of all those receivers.
Over Chark?
Yeah, I have Corey Davis ranked higher than Chark this week. But I think I would flex Chark. I think I would put the first two that you got there.
I think I'm going with Snell as the flex.
Really? You'd flex Snell over Chark?
I saw what I needed to see last week, that when James Conner's out, not Gus Bus. He was on the other side of the matchup. Snell actually does get like the majority of the work. I wasn't sure, maybe coming into the game we see a little bit more Anthony McFarland. No, Benny Snell was the one that was getting the majority of the touches. I believe he ended up with 20 last week. And if that's the case, I mean, this is a game that the Steelers should be up pretty early in and should be favored to have multiple touchdown, multiple score type lead. And if that's the case, that's the type of game script that you're looking for out of Benny Snell. I understand the Washington football team from an efficiency standpoint have actually been pretty good against the ground game. But in terms of an overall volume output, touchdown upside, I just think that Benny Snell is a pretty good lock to finish as an RB2 this week.
Where do you have him ranked? Just out of curiosity. I have him probably pretty significantly lower than you.
I have him at, I think, 21 right now.
I do. I have him at 25.
Damn.
I have him one spot. The guys I have right behind him are Todd Gurley, Gio Bernard, David Johnson, Zach Moss. Those are the four that I have behind him.
Call me Gutty. Guess who I have him over this week? Pretty well-known running back.
Zeke? Yeah, I have him one spot behind Zeke. So
yeah, I have him one spot ahead of Zeke. I have him at 20, Zeke at 21. I also have Frank Gore at 19.
I have Frank Gore at 24. So
yeah, I have Frank Gore
ahead of Snell.
Devontae Booker, I'm going to raise a little bit. I'm actually going to put Booker ahead of Zeke as well.
Yeah. So in terms of one thing I wanted to mention on DJ Chark, I heard this on the Draft Sharks podcast with Jared Small and them. Basically, what they talked about was Mike Glennon actually threw the ball downfield at the third highest clip last week of all the quarterbacks, and he had the third most passes of 20 plus yards. So I think DJ Chark coming back is actually going to potentially even see more volume than we've seen with guys like Minshew and with Luton. So I actually think DJ Chark is a fine start this week. I wouldn't really worry about starting him, but I have Corey Davis at 21 in my ranking.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Let me see where I have him right now. I think he's like 27 for me right now. Let me just double check.
I have Chark at 22. I have them back to back.
So I currently have Chark at 25 I
have Corey Davis at 22. Deebo Samuel is at 21.
Yeah, I currently have Corey Davis at actually 23 and Chark at 26. So
okay.
I'm pretty on board there.
All right, let's catch up a bit. We got we're about like 20 minutes behind-ish. So
yeah. Let's catch up. Sorry about that, y'all. Anyways, pick 3. So the one that you're benching there,
Drake, Snell, Clyde, Gaskin.
It's between Snell and Gaskin for me.
Between who you're benching, I personally would bench. I have Gaskin ranked higher, but I think I would personally bench Gaskin because he's coming off of a multi-week injury.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree. Start one non-PPR, Gaskin fresh off IR or Dobbins.
I have just for the record, where do I have Dobbins ranked? I have him way higher than consensus. So I'm going all in on Dobbins this week. I have J.K. Dobbins at RB8.
I have him at 14, so I like him as well. But damn,
I have him at RB8 ahead of Miles Sanders, Chris Carson, Raheem Mostert, Antonio Gibson, David Montgomery. Those are the guys that immediately follow J.K. Dobbins for me.
I have a question for you. So I have Dobbins in my one home league, right? So right now the running backs I had in again are Gaskin and Sanders. I'm starting Dobbins over one of them. The problem is, or do I bench him, or do I start him for Debo? I could start him for one of Gaskin.
I
or
would
Sanders.
rather start him over Gaskin and start Debo.
Got you. Okay. Man, my
Personally.
team.
I just don't think that. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but I think the trend has been when a running back is coming off of a multi-week injury, he generally speaking does not get his full workload. Gaskin's a bit of an outlier because everyone in his backfield's hurt. They might have to give him his full workload, but they still have Patrick Laird right now. I think is DeAndre Washington playing?
I believe so.
I think he's the only one.
I think he's the only other one healthy because they lost what's called Ahmed and Breida. Breida's always fucking hurt, by the way. Fuck that guy.
DeAndre Washington's out too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Breida's out, Ahmed's out, and Washington is out. So it's just Patrick Laird and Myles Gaskin.
Yeah, so I might.
So, I mean, there's a chance Gaskin gets his full workload, but I still think they're going to use Patrick Laird more than people care to admit.
Because it's a full PPR, I know I can't be this gutty, but like I was honestly like, oh, maybe I should just start Gaskin and Dobbins and have Sanders on the bench. But it's full PPR. Gutty. I can't do that. It
would not shock me if both of those guys outscored Sanders.
100%. Gibson or Montgomery, give me Gibson there, Josh.
I'm actually going to move Sanders down in my rankings now that we're talking about him.
Yeah, same. I think I have him Sanders is not going to be RB9.
I had him at RB10, and I moved him down to 13 just now, behind David Montgomery and Antonio Gibson. I think he deserves to be below those guys.
I moved him down to 15.
Yeah. I still start him over Gallman and Damon Harris and Jonathan Taylor, but I think he belongs after some of those like sure things.
I'll put JT over him.
I can't do it. There's still a risk that JT doesn't get his full workload. I guess that's kind of a risk with Sanders too. Now that Jordan Howard is there, but I still trust Sanders to get more.
You already know that Jordan Howard's gonna have like 5 carries for 7 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's just happening.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I have to.
Also, sorry if I don't have a lot of energy right now. I had like a full bottle of wine last night, so I'm a little bit fucking groggy. That's
what's up. Oh, no, trust me. The other night, I had homework to do in the morning, so I'm like, okay, let me just unwind tonight and relax.
Yeah.
So I had an edible and just chilled.
Yeah, for sure.
Chilled. But yeah, no, I definitely need another bottle of wine because that helps you relax.
Yeah, I had like the Wayne Gretzky like Pinot Giorgios or whatever.
My bad. There you go.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're just like white, like they're just dry like white wines or whatever.
Yeah. My nono makes his own wine out of the wine cellar, so whenever I'm feeling a bottle,
my brother did that when he was like 18. It was so garbage. It tasted like fucking Kool-Aid.
Oh, trust my nono knows how to make some wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into a couple questions. I have to win to secure my spot. 7-5 overall, third. Good luck there, Jorge. Chark or Aguilar, Tannehill or Murray. Thank you guys, much appreciated. So I'd go with Chark and Murray there for you, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh man, Tannehill's so tempting though.
I feel that. Who should I start at flex? Montgomery. So out of those options, I would flex Ridley. Yeah, I'd flex Ridley there for you.
Yeah, I think I would go with Ridley. And maybe like in some of your mind, if you guys have Calvin Ridley, it's a good thing that Julio Jones is playing. It's better when Julio Jones is on the field that Calvin Ridley. Yeah, 100%. Just for the record, especially against New Orleans. I don't think Lattimore is going to be playing in this game. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to play because he's been banged up the last couple of weeks. But especially if Lattimore is playing, you want him on Julio and whoever else on Calvin Ridley. I know Janoris Jenkins has been playing a bit better, but Calvin Ridley is better than Janoris Jenkins. Sure.
Lamar Tannehill, not sure if Lamar plays. See, in this situation, I'm actually fine with pivoting to Tannehill.
Yeah, I'm fine with going with Tannehill in that case. I have where do I have Ryan Tannehill?
I have Tannehill at 8. I have him at 8.
I have him at 9. So, and I have Lamar at 11. So I do have Tannehill ranked higher. I would pivot to Ryan Tannehill.
Full PPR, pick 2 running backs, flex 1. So the Kamara and JK. I'd probably go Kamara, JK, Gallman there.
That's exactly what I would go with. Yeah. I can't believe. Imagine earlier in the season, we're saying sit Zeke Elliott for Wayne Gallman.
I know. 2020.
Yeah.
Cousins, Newton, or Mitch. I would actually go with Cousins here.
Yeah. Cousins is currently my 7th ranked quarterback. The only quarterbacks I would start over Kirk Cousins are Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes.
I just moved Cousins up to 9. For the record, on my waiver wire this week, I missed out on Cousins because I had somebody on IR Jonathan Taylor, who wasn't designated for this week. So I couldn't make any moves. And I wanted to stream a quarterback because of Lamar. Like, I didn't know if he was going to play or not. Missed out on Cousins on the wire.
That hurts.
Hurt. So I had to pick a Mitch.
Man, someone dropped the in my home league, or not my home league, in my school league, the league that I told you how good my team is. Like, I have like Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Dalvin Cook, J.K. Dobbins, Austin Eckler. Like, my team is disgusting. And my only weak point on my team was so good that the only weak point on my team was defense. And someone dropped the Colts defense. Yeah.
I have the Steelers defense for this little stretch run, so hopefully they can win me a championship.
Yeah. I had in a lot of my leagues, I stashed the Bucs defense even through their bye because their schedule is just like they play the Vikings next week, the Falcons week 15, and then the Lions in the championship week. So I'm stashing those guys.
It's the same thing for me with the Steelers. Like, obviously they had the really early bye because the Titans game got canceled, but I've just stashed them throughout. And this past week, I had to start the Broncos defense. I know, yuck.
Yeah.
And I had the Steelers on my bench because I wasn't sure if the game was going to play. And then, of course, the Steelers, like 2 possessions.
Get a pick six by Joe Hayden in the first quarter.
Yeah. I mean, they're such a good defense. Like, that's just the defense. You plug it in your lineup. You're expecting 10+ any given week.
So one thing I want to caution you guys on is earlier in the season, I was like of the belief that if I had like a COVID-related game, I was just going to pivot to other options because I was nervous if the game wouldn't happen at all. I don't think that's going to happen at this point in the season. I think the NFL is going to find a way by hell or high water. Like the games are going to be played. So I wouldn't probably put too much stock into, is the game going to happen related to COVID? Obviously, if you have someone on your team that has COVID, that's a different story. But the game being canceled altogether because of COVID probably isn't going to happen. So I wouldn't be too worried about that.
Agreed there. Here, let's get into some of these questions. By the way, we're kind of behind.
Yeah, we're Cousins behind. So
give me Cousins there, J Peach.
Yep.
Trubisky or Roethlisberger. They're close. I think they're back to back.
I have Trubisky at 14 and Roethlisberger at 15. So it is very, very close for me. Yeah. But I would go with Mitch Trubisky because Washington's pass defense is legit.
Yeah. For the record, I think I have them actually flip-flopped. I have Roethlisberger at 15 and Trubisky at 16. So,
man, that's close. It's a close one
for sure. 2 RBs, 2 flex. So you're starting Gibson for sure.
Gibson and CEH is probably what I would go with.
Yeah, Gibson, CEH, and then the flex spots, I'd say Higgins and Ayuk.
So conventional wisdom would tell me Higgins and Ayuk, but I actually have Henry Ruggs higher than Higgins. And it's not because I'm down on Higgins. I have Higgins at 32. I have Henry Ruggs at 31 this week. I am 22 spots higher than consensus on Henry Ruggs this week.
All in.
I'm all in. This is Henry Ruggs week. He ran, I tweeted it out the other day. He ran the second most routes he's run the whole season since like week 1 when he was like going to be like a workhorse like receiver. He got 5 targets last week. His ADOT is number 1 in the NFL. He gets high value targets. His yards per reception is great. He looks better every, like that catch he made last week. Had he not stepped out of bounds, he would have had a great week and we'd be probably thinking about him differently. I think this is the week that Henry Ruggs goes off. I saw someone tweet, it's Bryan Edwards week. I'm like, the guy runs like 20% routes. Like, I'm like, why are you tweeting that? Like, Bryan Edwards is not even involved in the offense right now. Henry Ruggs, this is it. I will stand on the table for my guy. Everyone knows if you followed this channel before the NFL draft or prior to the NFL draft, Henry Ruggs is my dude. And I think this back half of the season, he had a horrible schedule the whole season. This is where his schedule eases up, and this is when he starts to take the next step.
I'm trying to think of what little bet we could do with Henry Ruggs this week. You know what? We could do.
Do you want to do a back half of the season bet with another rookie receiver?
Sure. I'm trying to think who, though.
I'll take your boy straight up versus mine.
Okay. Deal.
So for those of you that don't know, that is CeeDee Lamb versus Henry Ruggs straight up. Fantasy points rest of the season. Do we count week 17 or no? No week 17. The rest of the season, who scores more fantasy points, Henry Ruggs versus CeeDee Lamb? I'm willing to take that bet.
I'm happy.
Both of them are kind of like meh options right now. So if Henry Ruggs has like a 30-point week this week, that might be enough to just win the rest of the season. But
okay, so we left off here at Justin's question. So we just got the $2 super chat. Appreciate that a ton from Saviccia. He says PPR, A-Rob, Juju, Woods, Montgomery, D Booker, 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. So out of those options, I am starting A-Rob and Woods at my 2 receivers. out of the flex, I'm starting Montgomery. Oh, okay. I didn't even see Montgomery first. So basically I'm starting A-Rob, Woods, and Montgomery there for you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll agree with those for sure.
Yeah, my bad. And Kalen, we just you can take it easy. I'll give you a little warning
we'll
right
answer
now.
Kalen's question. He said, "What are you doing about Julio Jones?" He said, "What are we doing? You're starting him, so don't ask clown questions."
Yeah, just if you keep.
Don't be hassling. Anyway, yeah, we are. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt because we are kind of rambling for no reason. But
fair. But
okay, what question we leave off on? Justin.
Justin. Yeah. Here, let's get into this.
Okay, let's rail through some of these questions here.
We're a little more up. My bad.
Yeah, Kyler's up against the Rams, a dominant defense. Should I be worried, especially after a bad week for Murray? You should be worried a little bit, but he practiced in full, so his AC joint injury should be okay by the sounds of it. So I'm not too worried about him. I still have him in my top 6. I think he's the guy that got you to this point in the season. It's probably too cute to bench him for like a meh option. Obviously, if you have Justin Herbert or something, then I would bench him for him. But I doubt that's the situation you're in. So I'll just roll with Kyler if I have him.
Yeah, just I agree. Yeah. I don't know what else I could add there. What up, guys? What up, Jared? And yeah, don't worry, I've been checking
Jared Loki. I just want to give him a shout out real quick. He's been going back and like watching old ass videos of ours, like mock drafts and like our quiz shows and shit. So just shout out to Jared for doing that.
Yeah, big shout out. Oh yeah. I also forgot who should I start quarterback, Watson or Rodgers. I have Rodgers, I think 2 this week. So
I have Rodgers at 3, so I will go with Rodgers.
Yeah. Who to start? Cam, Cousins, Mitch, or Ryan? Give me Cousins out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Need 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex. So you're starting Mostert and Montgomery at your running backs.
Yep. I would go with McLaurin and Deebo Samuel at your receivers, and then your flex. I'd probably go with Zeke as your flex.
Is it gutty to say Pittman over Zeke?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would start Zeke over Pittman
against Houston.
I know it's a good matchup, man, but like I heard someone say this, but T.Y. Hilton has notoriously gone off against Houston, so it could be like a T.Y. Hilton game
potentially.
So I think it's too cute to start Pittman over Zeke.
Give me Herbert there, Jared. I can't fathom benching Herbert at this point, given how
safe floor for QB. It is a little worrisome that he's playing the Patriots, but Patriots defense isn't that good. I know it's like Bill Belichick and he could confuse a rookie quarterback, but I mean Herbert's had a couple of those type of defenses that could have confused a rookie quarterback. And I know Brian Flores did it last week, but the Dolphins defense is better than the Patriots.
Oh, for sure. What's up, guys? Pick one, Titans. I am Titans or Colts. I'll probably just go with the real life defense.
Colts against the Texans. I'll take the Colts just because they're too good of a defense not to start them.
Hey guys,
did we answer the second half of the question there?
Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't even notice.
Judy, Edmonds, Dobbins, Hunt. Pick 3. I'll go with Dobbins, Hunt, and probably Jerry Judy as my other one there.
Yeah, I agree there. Sorry about that, Canal. I didn't even notice. Hey guys, all right. So Gio or Snell? Give me Snell there. Actually,
yeah, I'll take Snell.
And or do I go for carry on off the waivers? Wasn't sure if Connor was playing.
Connor is not expected to play.
Yeah, I would still go with Snell over carry on, but carry on's not a bad option if you need a flex. Though I would still go with Gio over him if that makes sense.
Yeah, I actually think Gio and Snell are both a little bit probably a tier above carry on in terms of like a running back option this week. So I'll go with Benny Snell there pretty easily.
I agree. Let me get into it. Justin says I have Mike Williams, Cam Akers, and McKissick. Who looks best in non-PPR this week? Yes, probably. Mike Williams has the highest touchdown upside of those.
I know he's playing against Stephon Gilmore in shadow coverage, but I mean Mike Williams can moss anyone. So I mean he could catch a long bomb touchdown if you need him.
He doesn't need a lot of separation to make a play.
He doesn't. He also doesn't need a lot of targets too, which is why I would say Mike Williams there.
Need 2 wide receivers, full point PPR. Wow, that's a bunch of good options there. Those options.
I have DJ Chark and Brandon Ayuk ranked the highest out of those guys.
I was gonna say Chark and Jarvis.
Chark and do you have Jarvis over Juju and Ayuk?
Juju, I think I have higher, but because he's playing Washington football team, like
he technically has the best matchup on the field against Jimmy Moreland.
Yeah. I'll do one right now if you want to do like Landry versus Ayuk just for fun.
You're taking Landry, I'm taking Ayuk. Yeah. All right, I'll do that.
Let's fill up these bets this week. I think we're tied like 12-12, so I would just want to get as many as possible over these next few weeks.
I just want to check my FanDuel lineup real quick to make sure no one's affected. I got Tannehill, Kamara, Eckler, Julio, Corey Davis, Allen Robinson, Kyle Rudolph, Adam Thielen, Los Angeles Chargers. Giddy up. We're good. All right.
Yep.
The
Here,
Dosh Life says Herbert versus New England defense / Belichick. Yeah, I kind of voiced that concern already. / Taysom versus Atlanta defense. No, I'll go with Herbert there.
Yeah.
I think it's too cute to start Taysom Hill. And let's not pretend like Taysom Hill doesn't have a low floor too, because if Taysom Hill doesn't rush for a touchdown or two, like he has the last 2 weeks, he's probably not going to do that well through the air. So
also, side note,
I mean, I think it's part of their game plan to run the ball in the red zone with Taysom Hill, but the Atlanta defense against the run is very good, which a lot of people don't really know. And Herbert has been a very safe option all season, to be honest. So
also side note, can we give those goal line touchdowns that Taysom Hill and Latavius Murray have been scoring?
Speaking of that, did you see the news on Sleeper today that Drew Brees is coming back next week? Thank God, Drew Brees is coming back next week. I know I voiced concern being like, I'm not really too worried about Alvin Kamara, but let's not pretend like Drew Brees is not better for Alvin Kamara.
For the record, if I win this week in my home league and I got Drew Brees coming back for my team, I have Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, I could be going on a run, man. I could be going on a run because Alvin Kamara is going to go bike to that 25, 30 point per game guy. And if Michael Thomas returns to that wide receiver 1 type status, like it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
That's too cute, Tyler. Come on, you know that.
Yes, that's way too cute.
Yeah. I don't mind that bet whatsoever, to be honest. I think
actually I want to pull up. I placed mine earlier in the week. I'm not exactly sure if they've moved a lot since then, but I know I bet on the Colts.
Yeah.
I thought they were a pretty safe bet to bet on.
Yeah, I like it. I like it though. Plus 3.5 at the Bears. I think that's definitely fair. What's going on, guys? Pick 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 flex. So McLaurin's never. Oh wow. Okay, never mind. I was about to say McLaurin's never leaving, but I'd still go with McLaurin and. So you're starting 3 of those receivers. There's no way you're benching any of them. Like, wow, that's a good spot.
Okay,
so let's just get to running
2 wide receivers. McLaurin and Ridley are locks in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Jefferson's a lock in the flex spot to me too.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I can't.
Running backs. I guess Sanders and Drake.
Yeah.
I think it's too cute to start Booker over Drake.
Yeah. I mean, Snell too, but I'd go Sanders and Drake, and then the Herbert over Tannehill for me personally.
Yeah, sure.
That's a good spot to be in. You got some nice depth.
We can. Apparently, the Chiefs woke up early this morning to 7 positive COVID tests, only to find out 5 to 6 hours later that they were all false.
Oh my god. Yo, what's up? What's up, Javon? Gesicki, Rudolph, Fant, Akins, or Ferks, or pick 1. I'm going Kyle Rudolph.
I have Kyle Rudolph at 9. This week. Tight end.
I like
9.
Rudolph. I like him. Who do I start? Henry or Hawkinson? Give me Hawk there.
Yeah, definitely Hawkinson.
Again, I mentioned it in last week's waiver show. My tight end stream of the week was actually Robert Tonyan. And basically, with the Chicago defense, they're so good on the outside against opposing wide receivers. The main weakness on their pass defense has actually been against the opposing tight ends.
We saw that with Tonyan last week.
Yeah. So, I mean, Hawkinson is a better player than what Tonyan is. So maybe he's also able to exploit what the Chicago Bears basically can't cover. So
for sure
happens. How do y'all feel about Damon Harris this week? Am I sneaky play Anthony Ferguson? Actually, like both. Again, Harris at this point, given the volume that he's been seeing, I think he's a consistent week to week mid to low end type RB2, like just out of that Montgomery type range. So I like Harris again. And my sneaky play Ferguson, I think Ferguson's going to get a ton of volume with Jonnu out. He's actually been seeing like 4 or 5 targets a game with Jonnu in. So with Jonnu out, you could definitely see that uptick happen or so. Maybe he goes to like the 6 or 7 type range. And if that's the case, I mean, at the tight end position, given how volatile it is on a week to week basis, if you can plug in a tight end knowing he's going to get you 6, 7 type targets, he's a fine top 15 type play in my opinion.
I have Damian Harris at running back 16.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not worried about Damian Harris at all. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why people are worried about him because he got his normal workload last week and he played 60% of the snaps, which is an uptick since Rex Burkhead's injury. James White just happened to catch 2 touchdowns. That's all that really happened. I don't think that's going to happen again, nor do I think it probably happens the rest of the season. So I'm not really worried about James White. He played his normal role, normal snap share, normal amount of targets. He just caught 2 touchdowns. That's really all that happened.
Yeah, I have Harris at 19, I believe, this week. So I'm with you. Falcons eat better. Yeah, hopefully Jameis can come in.
I really hope that happens because I'm sick of Taysom Hill. I hate the Saints, but I hate Taysom Hill more. So
for sure. T.Y. Hilton's doing amazing today against the Texans. I could definitely see it. I mean, he owns the Texans, as we mentioned, and
not a bad tournament play in a DFS lineup. That's for sure.
For sure. Why is Brandon Cooks so low in people's rankings? He can turn into a top 10 wide receiver easily, right? I agree. I mean, he's a top 15 on a week-to-week basis, but because of the matchup against Indy, he's more so in the 15 to 20.
To be fair, though, Brandon Cooks, according to PFF, has the best matchup on the field against Rocky Sin, who's been up and down, and he's been susceptible to big plays. Fair. So Brandon Cooks could very easily go off this week. It's more so a matchup of the Colts front versus the Texans front that you have to be worried about. Cooks is probably going to get 8 to 10 targets, if I had to imagine how the game shakes out. But it is a little concerning knowing that the Texans might not be able to move the ball as well against the Colts pass defense.
Fully agree. For sure, Rudolph, and for RB, Gaskin, Drake, or Booker. So I'm going with Rudolph at the tight end position. For the running backs, I am sitting Booker or Gaskin's actually close.
Drake, Gaskin, or Booker. So you play one of them. So I would play Drake.
Oh, only one of them.
Yeah, okay, it's only one of them. Drake. So I'll go with Drake there.
Yeah. Full PPR pick 2. Johnson, Snell, or Lazard. I'm benching Lazard there.
Yeah, I'll bench Lazard. Lazard is a sneaky play, but Alan Lazard hasn't played more than 40% of the snaps in the last 2 games since coming off of the injury. And now that I'm saying that, he'll probably play a fucking huge snap share and go off. But just given the fact that Lazard has not been fully integrated back into the offense yet, I think it's too risky to play him over those 2 guys.
Don't you think that at this point the Packers are kicking themselves that they let Justin Jefferson go to a division rival?
I mean, they couldn't pick Justin Jefferson.
I mean, they traded up for a quarterback. Imagine they just traded up.
Jefferson was off the board.
I mean, they could have traded up a little higher and took Jefferson, though.
I guess they could have also picked. I don't know. Laviska Shenault was the guy I wanted to go to their team.
That's fair. For the record, what if they end up with Rondo more this year?
Yeah, that could be a good fit.
They could
I think Laviska Shenault, low key, might be one of the best. This is going to be a strategy just for the record. When we go into the offseason, we're going to talk about buying some of these second-year receivers lower in dynasty startups or in trades or whatever. And guys like Henry Ruggs and Laviska Shenault and stuff who haven't really had the greatest rookie seasons compared to some of the other rookie receivers that we've seen. They've still had solid rookie seasons.
Even guys with good rookie seasons,
Jerry Jeudy.
I was gonna say even CeeDee Lamb. If you're in a casual type league, a lot of people I know and a lot of people I've played with just look at the baseline numbers without even taking in the context, right? Okay, CeeDee Lamb, when Dak Prescott was healthy in the first 5 games of the year, was on pace for 1,400 receiving yards. Obviously, his pace since Dak got hurt. He's been normal rookie 800, 900 yard type pace. But with Dak back next year, he's going to be a top 10 receiver.
Yeah.
He's going to be. And if you can get him right now, some people might be selling.
I don't know about top 10, but maybe for dynasty purposes, yeah. But I don't know about top 10 redraft.
I think he's going to have AJ Brown type status by next year.
I mean, he could that. It's very possible. I'm not denying the fact that could happen, but who are you kicking out of the top 10? Obviously, there's going to be injuries and all that kind of stuff. But
for sure.
I don't see CeeDee Lamb in that light. I think he'll probably be more of a top 20 receiver for me in Dynasty. I don't think he's going to be that high for me. I personally, in this draft class alone, I would take Justin Jefferson and Chase Claypool over CeeDee Lamb long term. Oh, I would consider T. Higgins too.
No, come on.
I was lower on CeeDee Lamb coming into the season too.
Now, if Dak, I will say there's a caveat. If Dak Prescott is not brought back, obviously that's going to significantly hamper his value. But if Dak Prescott is back, at minimum, he's a top 10 dynasty receiver, in my opinion.
Do you see this tweet?
People
inside the Eagles building believe that drafting Jalen Hurts is a big reason as to why Carson Wentz has lost his confidence. Again, I voiced my concern with this already. If you can't handle competition, you shouldn't be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Don't be a bitch, Carson. For real.
Have we heard shit from Miami that Tua can't handle Ryan Fitzpatrick? No. Because Tua can handle competition. He dealt with the same exact quarterback at Alabama.
Honestly, though, if you're Carson Wentz, suck it the fuck up. You're making $35 fucking million a year. Don't cry like a little bitch. Go out there, earn your role, earn that C that's on your fucking chest. How does he still have a captain's tag on his jersey?
I don't know.
Pathetic. You're playing like a little fucking pussy. Go out, put some points on the board. No fucking excuses. I don't want to hear that.
It is worth noting that both me and Danny hate the Eagles because Danny's a Cowboy fan and because early in my Bucks fandom, the Eagles and the Bucks had a huge rivalry. So we both hate the Eagles, but it's like come on, Carson Wentz. Like, confidence issue. You're starting NFL quarterback. Like, grow up.
Like, fuck. Oh, I actually sent this in the group chat the other day, but have you noticed that Carson Wentz's footwork and his stance when he finishes his throws, for whatever reason, is super, super wide?
Oh, I saw Daniel Jeremiah actually broke it down like a couple weeks ago, being like, dude, I don't know what the hell Carson Wentz's mechanics are, but this is like not it.
And basically, I messaged this in the group chat, but what I was thinking, could it be the fact that he's trying to oversell?
I really hope it's not the ACL thing, dude.
That's what I was going to say.
That scares me for Joe Burrow. But I don't think Joe Burrow's got a confidence issue, so I don't think we got to worry about that.
I think with Wentz, though, right? You're seeing him widening out his mechanics. Maybe it's because he's trying to generate so much torque from his hips to negate having to do so with his knee as much as possible. Because if you have a narrow stance, right, you're obviously using your knee a little bit more when you're pivoting. But if you're in a wider stance, you can really generate a lot more torque with your hips. So what I'm thinking is maybe he's slopping up his mechanics because he's scared to generate a lot of
again, that sounds more like a mental issue to me. Like, that's
definitely.
That's all. Like, you don't got it, man. If you're playing quarterback and you got mental issues of confidence and you're worried about getting injured, like, you're not going to succeed in the NFL. That's just like, that can work in college if you're more talented than everyone else. But in the NFL, man, you got to have the mental aspect of the game down pat. And I think that's what saves me for Joe Burrow, is that, like, if Joe Burrow's coming off of an injury, I expect him to be the same Joe Burrow from a mental aspect, at least.
Yeah, like Joe Burrow's
a little bit hampered physically.
Joe Burrow's a tough-minded individual. Carson Wentz has never been. Like, we got to get that into our heads. Also, let's.
It's like, have you ever seen Moneyball when he's like, "Oh, we're not drafting that guy. He's got an ugly girlfriend, no confidence." Have you ever seen that? Like, that's kind of like the situation with Carson Wentz. You just like, you're like, oh, okay, man. Like, this guy has no confidence. You see, like,
except he is the ugly girlfriend.
Yeah, jeez.
Big day for our league today. Good luck, bro. You too, Josh. Yeah, definitely a big clinching day for all of us in that league. Gonna need something to pull through because my team's kind of been struggling these last couple of weeks with injuries. Or CH or Gurley. What was the first part of the question? Let me just check. Where was it?
Leroy, I think.
Oh, I need the flex. Yeah, I would put both those in your lineup at the. I
think it's just like his RB2 slot or whatever.
Okay, give me CH there.
Yeah, I'll take CH there, and I would probably bench Gurley over some of the options that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, same. Give me Tannehill over Hill there, Zach. Akers or Henderson?
I'm going Akers. Decision.
I'm going Akers.
I'll take Akers just because I think he's more talented and he's on the explosive play upside. Maybe he breaks a long touchdown, but I don't like either of them.
So it's not safe to start CEH. I think he's a fine mid-type RB2. The problem is he's going to be very volatile because the Chiefs just don't run the ball. So
he has a stomach illness too. So I mean, I think he's going to play in the game, but BMAC, like, I know who this guy is. So he already asked me who to start. This was the question I talked about earlier, where he said all those running backs in the same range, like CEH, Jonathan Taylor, Wayne Gallman, and Kenya Drake or whatever. I think I'm just, when I have options like that, I'm just going to shy away from CEH at this point.
I agree.
I wish that was not the case, but it is. So
yeah. Where are? Oh my God. Yeah. Let's go. Like
that. We got to fire these off.
Let's go, Javon. Big clutch.
I really hope that's not the one league he was talking about where his team's super good. Because then I'm going to say, how did you lose 2 games?
Yeah, for real. Go. Yeah, I know. Crazy to think about, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clutch out that 11-2, Javon. Big dubs. Full PPR. Akers or Henderson. Give me Akers there, Zach. Morning. Pick one.
Oof. So it's a super flex. He needs his other starter. So Alex Smith against the Steelers. I'm not starting him. I'm going Nick Mullins, I think.
Yeah. Mullins. And then for the sit one, I would sit Gaskin.
Yep.
Yes, Papa LaPree back in the cut. He says PPR, have Gio and Kamara at RB, have AP, Jonathan Taylor on the bench, have Allen Robinson in the flex, starting AJ Brown, Scary. Any changes?
Yes, I would start Jonathan Taylor over Gio Bernard.
Yep, exactly same. And for Carr versus Ryan, they're actually pretty damn close. I would probably just go with Ryan because Julio's back, but I want to put Carr over Ryan, but the problem is Carr let me down in a huge way last week to the point where I don't even know if I can trust him. Like, the matchup is a lot better, but with Julio Jones again playing,
Julio Jones playing, I'll start Matt Ryan.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. My flex is Carson or Diggs. I'd probably go with Carson because of the RB factor, but
I wouldn't. I would start Stephon Diggs over Carson.
Really?
Yeah.
I also
Against the Giants' run defense, I'll go with Stephon Diggs there.
I also have Carson as my RB7, so I'm a little higher on him than you. But I'd go with Carson. Call me crazy. I'm going Frank the Tank. I'm going Frank the Tank.
Imagine asking that question.
I know. I'm going Frank the Tank there, Yee. Man, it's crazy. Lamar Jackson top 13. He should if he plays, he's basically a lock to finish there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Against my Cowboys. Flex pick 2. Okay, so I'm going with Akers and
Aguilar probably. I think Aguilar is probably the first guy I would pick there.
Yeah.
And then Akers.
I agree. Yo, guys, CH. So if you can only start one, I'm still going with Gibson because
I'll take Gibson there.
Is Dobbins going to get the most of the carries if he plays? Again, we were seeing
most of the carries. I think he out touches both Ingram and Edwards combined. Is how I think it works.
Agreed. Let me just. How do
you guys feel about so T. Higgins is in my top 32 this week. I'm fine with starting him. It's a bit of a tougher matchup against the Dolphins, but I still think he is a startable receiver this week. We've seen his volume and his big play upside and his red zone usage is enough to keep him with a pretty safe floor even without Burrow.
Where'd you say you had Higgins?
I think I have him at 32.
That's exactly where I got him.
I have him at 32. One spot behind Henry Ruggs. I have Michael Pittman at 30, Sterling Shepard at 29, and Jarvis Landry at 28.
Give me Ben here, Bilal, rest of the season.
Yeah.
Big Ben. So CH, give me out of those options CH, but Snell actually has a convincing case because of the touch expectations I have for him.
Yeah, I'll take CH there too.
Big word. Tanyan or Rudolph? They're close for me.
I have Greg Rudolph higher. I don't think it's close.
Really, yeah?
Yep.
I currently have Rudolph at 10, and I have Robert Tanyan at 9. So, yeah. Let me just check here. CH can miss today's game.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a perfect pivot. If you have Le'Veon Bell on your roster, then you really have no worries with CH. You just slot in Le'Veon Bell if CH is out.
And BMAX says, why is JT's ECR so low? I know they go from ranking this guy as a top 4, top 5 back, and where we have him as like a mid RB2 to now we
really haven't moved him all season. He's kind of been in the top top 20 range for us all season, and ECR had him at like RB6 like 3 weeks ago.
I know, it's crazy. Also have Gibson. Should I start him over? Yes. Start Gibson over CH. I'm the guy who called Richie. Oh yeah, you remember this?
He did. Yeah, he did call that. I remember that.
That's a dub. And I would go with Ebron over Ferkser. I know Jonu's down, but I think Ebron's like one of the consistent tight ends you can rely upon.
Ebron's been in my top 8 all season, and
he's really good, man. Thanks for helping me stick to my guns last week and starting Juju. I squeaked into the last playoff lot. Let's go, Manu. Big clutch. Booker Gibson at my flex standard league. I'm still going with Gibson. Yeah. A Robinson. Yeah, you're chilling there, Bilal. That's a nice spot to be in.
I would say, as a general rule of thumb, you want to have 3 to 4 guys that are your dudes. On your fantasy team going into the playoffs. Like for example, in my team, in my home league, I have Alvin Kamara, AJ Brown, and Deshaun Watson / Tom Brady. And then I also have a couple like other guys that are very high end options. J.K. Dobbins could become that as well. So, and then my roster's filled out with like guys like DJ Chark and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Mark Andrews at tight end. You could maybe even consider one of those guys, but you want to have 3 dudes that you can rely on week in and week out. And then the rest of your roster probably needs to be good players as well.
For sure. Got 10.
Did you answer Alfredo there?
I didn't. My bad.
Absolutely. Drop.
Yes.
Corey Davis.
Good. Sorry about that, Alfredo. Completely missed. Got bad eyes. Out of those options, I'd probably just. I mean, Ayuk versus Juju is pretty tempting, and Ayuk versus Shark's pretty tempting. But aside from that, I think you're pretty set there.
Yeah.
Would you go with Ayuk over either Chark or Pittman or Juju?
I would start Ayuk over Pittman personally.
That's fair. I think they're pretty close in my opinion, but that just comes down to a personal preference.
Andrews is not expected to play, so yes, I would start for over Mark Andrews.
Yes. Parker, Booker, or Drake, a PPR. I would go personally with Drake there, Ian. Oh, okay. We already answered you, Kalen, but glad to see you're chilling in the chat a little bit now.
Hey, no toxicity in the chat.
Yeah, you're allowed to joke around. Just don't
Okay.
spam all caps the same
Yeah,
question or
for
anything
sure.
like that. Just
Papa
have
Lapri
fun.
says, I'm screwed. Mike Davis, Ronald Jones on bye. I have Dobbins. Do I start Gus Edwards, Ito Smith, Jeff Wilson? No,
Wow.
so I'd roll with Dobbins there if that's what your decision is.
Yeah,
If
but
that's
that's the
not what
one that he's already got in.
Oh, okay. All right. So, okay. So he has Dobbins and he's wondering if he should start Gus Edwards too. I think I would start Jeff Wilson out of those guys, to be honest.
In a PPR, Ito would. I Gurley's expected to play. Never mind.
Yeah, I think I would go
yeah.
with Jeff Wilson just because
Yeah.
you never know with the 49ers backfield. And based on what we saw last week, it looks like Jeff Wilson is the number 2 back there. And we all know Jeff Wilson is no stranger to the goal line carries, so he could also just get into the end zone for you.
Yeah. Tam, what are your thoughts for Hines today? Hopefully not too good because
It's a good matchup, so you could use him, but I'm not overly excited about him.
I have Jonathan Taylor in my home league in a must win, and the guy I'm playing against is starting Nyheim Hines. Go figure. It just had to end the season this way, eh?
For sure.
Like,
in our FSE league, do we have a bye week? Like it's a 6-man playoff, right? And top 2 make the bye.
Yeah.
I think I actually got to check right now. Do I need to win this week? I think I do.
I don't know. I know I'm 6-6, and I just need to win.
I'm in second right now, and I'm pretty sure I need to win to secure my bye.
I'm in 6th right now, I believe. I'm in 6th, and I get Christian McCaffrey back next week. Guess who's in 7th? Lucas.
Oh my God. He might actually come back and make the playoffs.
So if I win, I'm in. Or if I lose and Lucas loses, I'm in.
True. Yeah. No, I need to win to secure my bye.
If I win and Zohan loses, I'm in 5th place, and I play Sexy Pat's first round. And I get Christian McCaffrey back. So that should be fun. Gosh, I guess I'm starting Rivers this week. I didn't even check my team.
I think this is one of the. So I'm in 7 leagues. I have 5 playoff chances, and then I need 3 of those 5. I have a chance to win the championship. Like 2 of those 5 leagues, I'm not winning the championship. My team isn't just good enough. But in that league, I think I have one of the best chances in the league to win the championship. I have a pretty good team.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, there's so many leagues. I've gotten absolutely destroyed by injuries. So hopefully I can clutch it out because I think I'm pretty much going to make the playoffs in like 95 or so % of my leagues.
And we're still half an hour behind. So we should rip through.
Pick 2 half PPR. So you're benching Watkins, and
I think I'll go with Kirk and Hilton, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hey, for the boys. There you go. Very nice. Flex 1 half PPR. Latavius, Todd. So you can only start 1 here out of those options.
I'll go with Gurley there, I think.
Yeah, I'm going Gurley, but it feels gross. Rodgers or Herbert. Actually, give me Rodgers there. I have my quarterback 2 this week, Ahmed. What do you think about my team? Yeah, you're big chilling. You're big chilling. I'm curious, who's TJ? Was that Hawkinson?
Hawkinson.
So he's only got 1 wide receiver starting?
Yeah, I guess.
So hit that like button. Listen to Papa Lapri. Want to be a big time baller? Help out the channel grow. On the road to 2,200. You guys already know how it is. Hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, again, hit that subscribe. Helps us a ton in growing in that YouTube algorithm. All right, let's get back to the questions.
The weekly mention of the YouTube algorithm stands true.
For sure. Out of those options, Booker or Claypool is closed. If you're feeling gutty, go Booker because of the matchup that Claypool faces against the Washington football team, the best team against opposing wide receivers. I know Amari cooked them, but Amari always cooks them. I mean, I think they're going to step back. They're going to come back to where they were. I mean, Darby and Fuller have been playing like 2 of the best corners in the league this year, which is funny to say if you think about it. But either way, that's a lot of rambling to just say I would go with Devontae Booker.
Yep, I agree. Devontae Booker is going to get, if nothing else, he's going to get the primary like carries. And they're in who do they play? Oh, they play the Jets. It's a good matchup. So that's the type of situation you want to have.
Sure. Yeah, J Peach are good. Like we're all just bantering.
Yeah, you're no. I think he's fucking with you.
Yeah, he's chilling. Superflex. Wait. Oh, you're asking this? Yeah, you're starting Kyler there. I know the Rams matchup is tough, but you don't sit Kyler in the Superflex.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah. Kyler, Tua, or is he asking if he should start Tua there?
No, he's asking if he should start Kyler.
I'm curious who your other quarterback is.
Yeah, Probably like a Herbert or something. Then if he, yeah, trust him. Trubisky or Goff? Give me Trubisky. No questions asked there. But yeah, at least we've seen Kalen's relaxed now. Let's catch up though.
Sit down, Kalen.
B-Mac. Let's get it. Hey guys, need one Gallman or Gaskin? Give me Gallman there slightly, Dave. Chubb came back from the same injury and got his workload right away. Yeah, you're chilling, and that's actually true. Oh, he says pick 3. Okay. So I would go with Gibson for sure. I'd probably go Gibson, CEH, and well, you have 2 Snells. That's nice. No, I'm kidding. But and Drake. CEH, Gibson, and Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you good. Thoughts on Kiki Kuti? Same old Kiki Kuti. I don't really view him much. Maybe he can be a wide receiver 40 to 45 type area, but he's not really anything more than that. I think honestly, like Jordan Akins, ancillary options like Jordan Akins, Duke Johnson, David Johnson are going to end up getting a lot more.
I'm not overall. Like QT just isn't very good, to be honest. Like I'm not excited about starting guys that I just don't think are good.
Yeah, agreed.
So, if they still have Kenny Stills, it'll probably be a different story.
Yeah, for sure. So your boy B Max says Drake CH 2 RB, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Should I flex and pick up Snell just in case he doesn't play? First of all, wait, who's Shart? Who's Shart? Who's Shart?
Oh, so he calls DJ Chark DJ Shart.
I was about to say. Either way, I would go with so Gallman is in for sure. Man, I don't know. I think I got to lower CH a bit in my rankings because like I'm looking at all these options that he has and I'm like, is he a must start out of them?
So what I told him to do earlier today when he asked me was JT Gallman. He didn't actually mention Harris the first time.
Yeah.
I think I would go with JT, Gallman, and Harris as the flex, and then Adams, DJ Chark as the receivers.
Chark or Debo though? I think I go Debo.
Oh, actually, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I would. Fuck, man. I think I would start Chark over Debo.
That's fair. Yeah,
it's really close. Especially if you need ceiling BMAC, then I would definitely go with DJ Chark.
And maybe if you
can catch a bomb this week potentially.
Also, maybe if you can, I know RB depth is very like hard to come by. If you have a space on your bench just to put Benny Snell on your lineup so somebody else can't use him this week, unless you need somebody else to pick him up and use him.
Like, yeah, it's a decent block because I mean Benny Snell is going to be a usable piece for sure. This week.
Football Sunday. Let's get it spicy hot.
Yeah, you're late spicy hot. What are you doing?
Yeah, geez. Yeah,
I guess we're also 30 minutes behind. So
you're big chilling, Javon. Zeke Mostert to Booker full PPR. I'd go with Mostert there. Bobby Joe. I just don't sit Will Lutz, man.
I didn't even know Tyler Bass was a human being. So
it's the Bills kicker.
I play in one league with kickers, and I have Harrison Butker in it, so I don't even pay attention to the kicker landscape.
I don't have any kickers in my leagues, but Bobby Joe says Bass. So if you want to eat the bullet with Bobby Joe, you can follow the way
for sure.
So, yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. So low key, let me know what you guys think of this idea. What I might do next week, because it's playoffs and I am going in depth, like pretty deep on everyone. Yeah. I might split the start sit show up into 2 videos with like the Thursday night and like 1:00 games in one section, and then the 4 p.m. to like primetime games in another section, just because I'm going like I think my start sit video was like an hour and 15 minutes this past week, and I don't want it to go that long again. Plus we have no more bye weeks starting next week. So it's going to be another game on top of that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to split it up into 2 videos just in case, if you guys are curious. I'll probably drop one Wednesday, drop one Thursday. I'll probably record them both at the same time, but actually I have no idea. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to split it up into 2 videos just because then you guys get an extra video. Plus it's less me fucking talking forever too.
Yeah. Also, with obviously the playoffs coming in, like if there's any ideas you'd want to see for the waiver show, like that you'd rather watch, let me know, because there's not really many waivers going on right now. So if you want to see, I don't know, an extra whatever, let us know in the comment section, because I'd definitely be down to do that, because I've noticed, again, as waivers have gone on throughout the year, people are less engaged. Because
make sure you guys in the Discord who are in the Discord give Danny some ideas instead of a waiver show, because I'd imagine you guys don't even pick up waivers at this point in the season. You probably have whatever streamers you're stashing for the playoffs on your bench. If you haven't already done that, go and do that. If you have room to roster 2 defenses just to get good matchups and stuff like that, then go ahead and do that. You can drop guys like that you're not going to be playing, like CeeDee Lamb or something like that. If he's on your roster, you can drop a guy like that. That's what I did, so I could roster 2 defenses for the matchup.
Yeah, no.
Just leave any suggestions you have for Danny to do for a different type of video, because waivers are kind of dead right now.
So we left off at we left off at Spicy Hot. We'll get to Kaleo. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He says full PPR, bench Kamara for Dobbins or Taylor. I'm still starting Kamara. I'm still starting
Kamara, but I would really love to know who your other options are, because I have J.K. Dobbins 1 spot behind Kamara at RB8 in my ranking. So I want to get J.K. Dobbins into my lineup. I'd have to know who your flexes are. Like if you have J.K. Dobbins or let's see, a receiver. If you have J.K. Dobbins or Tyler Lockett, I would rather play J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, agreed. And where do we leave off real quick? Let me just check. We left off at Ray.
Spicy Hot up there.
Or Spicy Hot, yeah.
Yeah, he was a lot answer.
$5 super chat from Justin. Appreciate that ton. He says, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm considering starting Trubisky over Murray. Last time Mitch played the Lions, he put up 30 points. Thoughts? I would still go with Murray.
Way too cute, Justin. Don't do it.
Man, that's like me starting Carr as a top 7 option last week.
Which you did?
Yep. And he got 1 point.
Is Kirk Cousins going to be that guy this week that disappoints everyone?
It could be.
I could very well see Dalvin Cook run for like a 40-point fantasy outing and Kirk Cousins pass for 250 yards, no touchdowns.
Yeah, for sure.
I could see something like that happening for sure.
Okay, so by the way, so Jorge, we missed Jorge's question. We'll get actually into that. Sorry about that. Let's where is it? Oh, it's here. Okay. Oh no, we did answer your question.
Yeah, sorry, Jorge. We actually did answer that.
We actually did. Yeah. Out of those options, we said what? CH, Gibson, and Drake. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we only got like 20 minutes left to kick off, so we are let's bullet right through these.
Yeah. Let's carry on. Yeah, I think he's definitely worth picking up. With not for the future, but for this week, if you need a flex, and I think he's fine. Also, would you put Ruggs over Mike Williams?
Absolutely, I would put Ruggs over Mike Williams.
Let's do it.
I got a lot of stock in the Ruggs shit now because a couple of you guys have said I'm trusting you on Ruggs. If Ruggs disappoints, it is completely my fault. You can blame me for that.
Go Gallman there, Nick. He's got the Giant shirt on in the profile pic. Go with your boy.
Sure. Yeah, stick with your Blues.
Do I still go Parker or over Debo or Landry? I would go with Debo. I'll go with Debo there.
Yes, I would as well.
And also pick 2 and start for standard. Chark. Fuck, I gotta set some lineups, but we'll get into that. Pick 2. So I would go with Gallman and Dobbins.
Yes, I would also go Gallman and Dobbins, mix them together.
Yeah, I think you're fine, Nick. Just put Deshaun Watson in. Don't
worry just play Deshaun Watson. We don't know what his split is going to be like without Will Fuller, but I still think he's going to be just fine.
So I'd go both of them as your running backs there, Ray.
I would definitely go both running back.
Both of them. Need one regular Aguilar or Golden Tate. Give me.
I'll take Aguilar there.
Yeah, so let's say that. Am I starting Kirk Cousins or am I taking the risk? Yeah, I'm starting Cousins regardless. I have Cousins higher.
Yeah, I would start Cousins over Lamar.
Also, I'm starting JK or JT or JK or Jefferson at the flex. Wow,
Oof. I'll go with JK there, but
Jefferson's close.
Man, Jefferson's hard to sit.
Yeah, watch over 2 and flex. Should I drop my them for Ruggs for flex? That's close. I think I'm going with Higgins and CD, but
I would drop CD and start Ruggs.
I can't do that. I'll do that right now.
I'm not excited about CD Lamb the rest of the season.
We already have Lamb versus.
I'm not excited about CD Lamb the rest of the season, man. Like their schedule is a little easier, I guess, but like he's kind of a lower upside guy. Like he gets some targets, he might catch a touchdown, but like I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe
so is Ruggs
instead of Ruggs or instead of CD, but I would rather play Ruggs than all the guys that you mentioned, including T. Higgins. But I would start T. Higgins along with Ruggs.
We got that bit. I would sit. Booker or
I'd take Gaskin there.
Yeah,
personally.
There you go. Glad to hear you got that win, Aaron.
Did you I feel like you guys are just not telling us when we give you bad advice because it seems like every time you guys are like, "Oh yeah, well, like you helped me win our week." Are we just like really good at giving advice, or are you guys not telling us when we give you shitty advice?
Yeah, I've just been waiting for that. Like, oh my God, screw you! You just completely screwed over my week. Yada yada type comment.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen soon. That's when you know you made it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Tavon Austin. Yeah, I've seen him a lot last year for the Cowboys. He's
Gross.
not good.
He sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. So he said, okay, so he's not comfortable playing Booker, basically. If you're not comfortable playing Booker, I understand that. So I'm fine with going Drake and Gaskin there. They're all kind of in the same tier. I don't think it's like a definitive, yes, you need to play Booker and Drake over Gaskin. I think they're all in the same tier. I think personally it's riskier to play Gaskin than Booker because Gaskin's coming off of a multi-week injury. But there is no running backs there, as we mentioned. It's just Patrick Laird and Myles Gaskin. So if you want to go Drake and Gaskin, I definitely don't blame you there. It's all just kind of the way you think about it. I think Booker's going to be just fine, though. I'm not really too concerned about Booker.
No, I agree there. Kyle Rudolph or Evan Ingram? I'll go with Ingram.
I'll go with Ingram, but Kyle Rudolph is actually pretty close to him in my rankings.
Same. Pittman, Hunt, or Murray, PPR, pick one. I'm going with Hunt there.
I'll go with Hunt as well.
Yeah. Zeke, Hines, Hunt, Snell, Connor. So need 3. So I'm going there with Snell, Chark, and
Shepard.
Yeah.
In a full PPR, I'll take Shepard over Zeke and Hunt, which is freaking wild to say. But Zeke and Hunt are not receiving a lot of volume in the receiving game.
No. I think Hunt the last 3 weeks or so has gotten like 3 targets as his high.
I think he hasn't caught 3 balls since week 1.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something crazy like that.
See ya, Javon.
Nice Javon always says love you. We love to see that.
Love you. Yo, boys, Mostert, Gaskin, Gallman. Out of those, give me not Gaskin, Mostert.
I'll take Mostert there, yeah.
Yeah. Chark or T. Higgins or Boyd, no PPR. I'm going with Chark.
Standard, I'll take Chark. The upside of Chark is definitely there.
Claypool or Amari, give me Claypool there. Should a 10-person league be a 4? In a 10-person league, I think it should be a 4-team playoff, personally.
Really? You think so?
I usually do it with the way that at max, 50% of the teams in the league should be in the playoffs at max. So
I like the 6-team playoff for a 10-person league because then you're never out of it.
That's
you know what
fair.
I mean? Like if you're a bottom dweller earlier in the season, you can easily make the playoffs. Like I prefer to have a lot of teams make the playoffs because then there's like upsets and shit.
However, though, when you're one of those top seeds and you're playing against that 6 and 7 team,
if you're a top seed and you're a 6-person playoff, you're gonna have a bye the first week.
That's fair, but for whatever reason, I always seem to get upset by those lower seeds because I
personally just don't like 4-person playoffs unless it's an 8-team league.
That's fair. I usually stick by the 50% rule, though, give or take. I don't like more than 50% of the teams in the league making it. So, but yeah, I think either are fine personally. Raiders or Chicago D. Yeah,
I'll just take the top. Like they're both in pretty good matchups against the Jets, and then Chicago has the Lions. But I'll take Chicago just because of the better real life defense.
Yep, for sure. Where do we leave off? Oh, Aguilar.
Diego.
I'll go with Aguilar and Moss.
Yeah. I'll go with Aguilar. Terry's
I was about to say, I believe he's ready to go. Someone feel free to at me.
Oh, I think he's asking for more advice as well from other people.
Yeah. Pittman, Hunter, Murray. I'd go with Hunt there. Hoop.
Yeah.
Pick 2 standard, Terry, Ridley, or AJ.
Jesus, that's a hard question. I'm going AJ Brown, but I don't want to sit any of them.
I'm sitting Terry out of those, but like I don't like it.
Oh, pick 2. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting Terry as well.
Yep. Choose 2: Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Jefferson, and Landry. So Jefferson is like the lock.
Jefferson's a lock for your lineup, and I think
Deontay
Johnson's the other lock there too.
Yep. Cousins or Lamar, full PPR. Give me Cousins there. He should just be catching like 5 passes in this game.
Yeah, I'll take Kirk Cousins for sure.
I'm messing, but give me Kamara over Jones.
Yeah, good problem to have though.
Hey guys, love the channel, but who should I flex? Deontay Johnson or Pittman? Give me Deontay there, Malachi. I appreciate that.
You put Bud in there, so if we give you the wrong decision, do you not love the channel anymore?
It's a catch. Yeah, you're chilling. Keenan and Diggs, you got 2 top 7 or so options. Akers or White, thanks guys.
I mean, scoring format might be a little dependent on that, but I guess I'll probably take James White in any kind of PPR league.
Agreed. Tua Rivers, happy Sunday, boys. I'm going with Rivers there. I actually think Rivers is like a top 18 or 20 type option this week.
I'll take Tua there.
Really?
Yeah, I think against who do the Dolphins play again? it's a good matchup against the Bengals. I'll take Tua versus Rivers. Is like he's got a good matchup as well, but I don't trust Phillip Rivers. I just can't do it.
All right, wrote it down. Rivers versus Tua.
True.
Too bad for Joseph. That doesn't answer his question at all. Man, I need y'all help outside the playoffs right now. Got to score as much as I can. Pick 2. Jefferson, Gibson, Gaskin. Go with J. Jeff and Gibson. Their kicks.
For sure.
Gurley, Hines, Taylor, or Jarvis Landry. Flex full PPR. I'm going with Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
Can only start one.
100%.
The second option there for me would be Jarvis.
Yep.
I woke up late, but yeah, to be fair, y'all are, big fact, spicy hot.
Yeah, maybe you guys should stop like making the stream pop so we can get to everyone's questions.
Joking, but missed my last. I do that. I thought we got there. My bad.
Yeah, definitely start Gibson. It's too cute to start anyone else there.
He said split the series for the start sit. Dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Taylor, Gurley, Landry, flex full PPR. I'd go with JT there, 901. I know this sounds stupid, but Jacoby Myers or Debo because Pats play Chargers. I would go with Debo there regardless there, Aaron.
Yeah.
Big Ben or Mitch Trubisky. Give me I said Big Ben earlier, but I think I'm actually going to go with Mitch, man.
Yeah, I think it's Mitch, man.
Yeah.
You also get the rushing with Mitch as well, too.
That's crazy to think about that, where we're at. By the way, guess where I have freaking Ryan Fitzpatrick on the week? Actually, no, Ryan Fitzpatrick's not even starting. Never mind.
That's why I said I have Tua. I moved Tua up to like QB like 18 or whatever.
I had Fitzpatrick at 15, but let me just adjust that real quick. My bad.
Okay. So next, Alp says Mostert or David Montgomery. I will go with Raheem Mostert there. I think Raheem Mostert was just getting back into the swing of things last week. They just gave him a limited workload. I think once like this week happens, he's gonna be back to his full workload.
Agreed. It sounds bad I'm saying this, but I should be worried about Mahomes because
no, absolutely not.
You're fine.
Never be worried about Patrick Mahomes against you. The 85 Bears could be on the other side of the ball, and I wouldn't be worried about Patrick Mahomes.
Thanks, guys. Love the content. Appreciate that, Justin. Carry on or Bernard.
Chat as well, Justin.
Yeah, for sure. Give me Bernard there, Coleman.
Yeah, I'll take Bernard.
Booker, Sanders, PPR. Give me Sanders there.
Imagine asking that question preseason.
I know, right? Akers or White? Yeah, okay, we got into it. James White in any PPR type format.
For sure.
Bob Duncan says Devontae Parker, Deebo Samuel for flex. So if you could only start one, man, I'm sticking with Sanders, especially in a full PPR.
I'll take Miles Sanders there, but I would probably go Cup second if I had to.
I'd say Deebo or Cup. Like I think they're back to back actually for me right now, like 20-21 each.
Yeah, I mean Cup has a great matchup against Byron Murphy in the slot, so I'd probably actually, you know what? I'm going to change my answer. I would go Cooper Kupp over Miles Sanders.
Where do you have Cup ranked on the week?
I have Cooper Kupp at 15.
Okay. I have him at 21, but like realistically that 15 to 24 type range is all like
I honestly think from 10, I have Calvin Ridley at 10 down to
where do you have Hopkins this week?
18 at Brandon Cooks. I have from 10 to 18. I don't really see too much of a difference.
Agreed. Where do you have Hopkins?
I have Hopkins at 9.
I have him at 11. Wentz is a girl. Yeah, he is. Fuck that guy. Man, Jefferson's hard to sit just because.
Yeah. Okay. So now, after I answered that question, I kind of do agree. Like Justin Jefferson is way safer than J.K. Dobbins. I'll give you that for sure. Just because J.K. Dobbins coming off of COVID, I don't exactly know what that means. I still think he's going to get his full workload, but yeah, I agree. It is way too hard to sit Justin Jefferson because Justin Jefferson could have a 35-point week this week. So I'll play Justin Jefferson over J.K. I'll change my answer there.
I gotta quickly take. I gotta take the boy Deandre Swift out of a couple lineups. So give me a second. Here, get into a couple of these questions while I'm doing that.
I questioned you, Rob. I meant Gallman or Dobbins, and also my other question was Chark or Pittman. So I will take J.K. Dobbins over Wayne Gallman this week. J.K. Dobbins is going to get back to his full workload, in my opinion. I think he's going to get back to a 15 to 20 touch workload, 60% of the snaps, and he's got a great matchup against the Cowboys. We just saw Antonio Gibson absolutely go nuclear against Danny's favorite team. So I think J.K. Dobbins is going to go off this week.
Yeah,
Gallman's still a fine start, but I would rather play Dobbins. And then Chark or Pittman, I'll take DJ Chark there pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree there. Parker or Julio, give me Julio there.
Yeah, I moved Parker about 6 spots down when Tua was named the starting quarterback. I had Parker at 19, and I have Parker at 25 now.
Yeah, I think I have Parker at 24. Yeah, I do. Thanks, fellas. No problem, Papa Lepre. B-Max says Ray said they said earlier Chark over Pittman. Yep. Okay, so B-Max got you covered there, Ray.
Yeah.
Drake, Debo, or Dobbins for flex. Out of those options,
Dobbins by a mile.
Oh, Dobbins. I didn't even click in. Yeah, Dobbins.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever reason, the D's like
I know there's too many D's.
Yeah. Jerry Judy, Davis, JD
Corey Davis by a mile.
Yeah. Yep. Peterson or Bernard. Give me Bernard there, Slim.
Yeah, I'll take Bernard, Slim.
Anytime there, Coleman. Yeah, it's funny that people don't like Chubb because Hunt is quote unquote the pass catching back, but he was not good in that area this year.
I think Chubb's out targeted him, hasn't he? Since he came back?
I believe so. I mean, to be fair, Hunt hasn't really gotten any targets, but I believe you're right. Also, I'm 4-point favorites against your boy Dylan with
I kind of need you to beat him.
I have Marquise.
If I lose this week, then you're talking about FSE, right?
No, I'm talking about Scott Sauce.
Oh, I absolutely need you to beat him then.
Because he's 7-5, I'm 8-4.
So in Scott's thoughts, I need Dylan to lose, and I need I need to win against Sexy Pats, which will knock him out, and then I need one of Dylan or like two other guys to lose that are also 7-5.
Joey,
and then there's one other guy that's probably not going to lose because he plays a terrible team.
Codeine.
Yeah. So I think it's probably between Joey and Dylan to lose.
Yeah, Codeine plays against Lucas, who's projected. He's projected no points. He doesn't even set his lineup.
Yeah, but his team is so bad that he wouldn't beat him anyway.
I know, but I don't know. My own personal thing, for example, him and not very sexy Pats tied last week. At least set a lineup. You know what I'm saying?
At least set a lineup, even if you're gonna lose. 2 seconds. Do it fucking in the morning quickly.
I gotta tell sexy Pats to put it on potential points because I just don't agree with that aspect of not even setting a lineup because I think that's pretty BS. But whatever. We don't need to get. 1 sec. Okay.
Okay. Let's. It's 12:56. So I want to rip through the last question. Okay. All right. Yeah. So he's riding with Rugs too. The Dosh life is dependent on it.
Sweet like apple pie. Y'all never miss.
Oh, we're like Stephen A. Smith's burner apparently.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Guy never misses.
Cooper, Marquise Brown, or Pittman for the flex. Give me Amari Cooper there. D4 Watson or Taysom. Give me Watson there.
Derek Carr.
Gosh. Bell or Gurley. Give me Gurley because I'm.
Yeah, you're not going to know if CH isn't playing until later tonight, so I think you got to roll with Gurley there
for sure. I should be all good to go. I think I'm lineup set in most of my leagues.
Marvin Jones, Gurley, Hines. Pick one for flex standard scoring. I'll go with Todd Gurley there.
Marvin and him is close, but I'd go with Gurley if he's expected back. Sanders or Bucker. Is that Jason Sanders? I'm assuming.
Yeah, it'd probably be Jason Sanders. You never sit
Bucker.
Never sit Bucker ever.
Yeah, I don't even play with a kicker league. I just know you never sit the guy who's on the highest paced offense in the league.
Yep.
9-3 locked up with fighting for the second place guy for this first. Let's get it. Spicy hot going for that 10-3, clinching that playoff spot. Hope you win your league, brother.
I hope D-Bell loses.
Yeah. Yeah, any league. I hope D-Bell loses. Jacoby Myers or Marvin Jones. Give me Marvin there. Lamar Jackson or Taysom Hill, give me Taysom, but that's like literally the line.
Yeah.
Goff or Murray, give me Kyler.
Yeah, by a mile.
Yeah. Michael Thomas or Julio. Full PPR. That one's close. I'd probably slightly lean Michael Thomas.
I have Julio higher currently.
I think I have Thomas at
actually, hold on. I need to see if Lattimore's going to play.
Okay, in a half PPR, I have Thomas one spot lower, but in a full PPR, I think I would take Thomas over him. I have Thomas at 13, Julio at 12 and a half PPR, but in the full PPR, I think I'd go Thomas. Mike Thomas or Miles Sanders, give me. Definitely need to know the scoring format for that.
Is Marshall Lattimore on IR?
Not sure, but Smitty, leave down the scoring format for your league because that's like hugely dependent on that question.
Okay, so I don't see Lattimore on the Week 13 injury report anywhere, so that makes me think he's playing.
Damn.
Because he was on it last week and listed as out. So I'd imagine that means Marshawn Lattimore is playing. So I would actually favor Michael Thomas over Julio Jones in that case.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Okay, good luck. Hopefully we have some fun this week. Clinch our spots. Julio gets clamped by the same. Relax, Lasardo. Settle down.
Yeah. No, Julio goes off against the NFC South. It's a known fact.
For sure. Thanks for the help as always, boys. And somebody says full PPR. Okay, so this is a question. Thomas or Sanders? Now that he said
PPR.
Yeah, I was gonna say now that it's full PPR, I know it's Mike Thomas, but like if it was half PPR or standard,
I still would probably take Michael Thomas.
standard, I would go with Sanders, but in half PPR, yeah, I'd probably still go with Thomas. But
Yeah.
Appreciate that question there, Smitty. Also,
All right, got 1 minute left. Get any last minute questions in real quick.
One minute.
Gotta check my lineups real quick. Make sure.
Yeah, dude, that's always the scariest part because we had live, right? So being able to set our lineups prior to the deadline is like huge.
Oh yeah, it is a little scary.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like kind of good. Yeah, and for those of you that get mad at me if Henry Ruggs has a bad game, I'm starting him in 2 leagues too, so I'll be affected by it. And in a dynasty league where I absolutely need to win, I'm starting Henry Ruggs over Mike Williams.
Okay, so I guess I'm starting. David Johnson, Jonathan Taylor, Frank Gore, and Alvin Kamara as the running backs, and I guess I'm benching Chark, Snell, and Hunt. So I forgot to set my lineup, but
Jared says, "Tighten up, boys. Let's go." Do you think TJ is going to get more of the targets?
TJ Hawkinson.
I'm guessing that's TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, I believe he should have a decent target floor this week because of that matchup.
TJ Hawkinson's been probably the safest tight end in fantasy.
Outside of,
that includes like Darren Waller. Like he's had a better floor than like a guy like Darren Waller.
Yeah, I'd say outside like your Gibbons and like Kelsey and stuff.
Outside of Kelsey, to be honest, just Darren Waller. He's been better than Darren Waller in terms of like a floor, obviously.
For sure. Hope you guys do good this week. Love you. Appreciate that, Javon. Love you. Anyways, we're going to go watch some football. Hope you guys enjoy your week 13, and hopefully you guys can clinch up your playoff spots if you haven't done so already. So that being said, take it easy, y'all. Enjoy the weekend.